In this video, I'm going to take you through my 5 favourite SLGs, and I'm going to include a mini comparison where I have multiples of items and recommend which one that I would prefer as well. Welcome to you, my name's Dale, and this is Dale's Addiction. I better check this mic is plugged in. It is, great. So today's video, I want to share with you some of my favourite small leather goods, things I use for carrying money, cards, bits and pieces, keys in my handbags. Now, I've got quite a few varieties. I have pieces that I just go to easily, and to be honest, if I had to make the choice to keep one of each type, then there are some pretty easy decisions there of pieces that I would just let go. But because I have the privilege of not having to let them go, I keep them. But I think, based off my last video where I asked if you wanted to see this one, I think this has really made me think about whether or not I do need to keep these things and why I might be keeping them and what else I might do with those dollars. So today I want to share with you my top picks and why for small leather goods, and I'm going to show you in relevance to the bags that I use. So I've got a small selection of bags here, and I'm going to show you why I've chosen these particular styles over other ones, why that makes sense to me. And I guess depending on what kind of bags that you use, you will choose different things, and that's cool. This is just my experience. So in the first category, I have compact wallets. I've got this old Louis Vuitton Joey wallet in the white epi. This was my first ever luxury purchase from a boutique. I've got a Chanel classic card holder and a lilac from the 21p collection, and I have a Bottega, I think it's called compact wallet, in the beautiful wisteria lavender color. So these are kind of the 3 compact wallets, and like this one's dated, so we'll put that to one side. I don't use it anymore. It's just, yeah, I am keeping it because it's old, it's unsellable, and it was my first piece. So then I come back to these 2. Now, my choice between these 2 is the Bottega. That's a surprising choice, and here's why. Look at these 2 front on, and then look at the size comparison. So they're about the same width. If you look at, the same length across. If you look at the width of them, the Chanel is thicker. None of these have anything in them. The Bottega is slightly higher than the Chanel. Why do I prefer the Bottega? Well, I'll just show you the Chanel quickly. So this one has just a little flap opening. On the back, it has a slip pocket. Now, I have got a selection of like store cards and things, so I can show you. That pocket there, I like to use for a security access pass or a public transport pass if I'm ever in need of doing that. Then in the front, there is a slip pocket as well. Again, you would put your most commonly accessed card in there, so you don't have to rummage through everything. And then inside you have this kind of accordion style. It doesn't actually fit a lot in it, because if you put cards inside of where the little gussets go in, it's not going to close. So you can put cards on either side of the gusset, like you can see that I've done here, but I can't fill that up. Then I would put in the front gusset coins, cash, whatever. It makes this quite a thick piece, all right? So again, I will put some in this so that you can see the difference. So just a quick run through of the Bottega compact wallet. So inside you've got 6 card slots. You cannot put cards behind these, which I actually quite like. Then you can put bills. Oh, hello. Then you can put bills without folding them, well, at least Australian bills anyway, inside of this bill compartment. And you've also got this little zippered compartment in here where you can put coins, or you could even put more cards, or you could put keys as well. If I fill that one up with cards in every slot, and you might say, oh, well, the capacity for cards in this one is less than the Chanel, and I'd say, yeah, maybe like, I mean, can't remember the last time I had coins as change. But you could put these cards here into the coin section, so it carries exactly the same. However, it is way thinner than the Chanel one. So this is the Chanel empty and this is the Bottega full, and you can see there's quite a difference. What I mean is that one is full and one is empty, and they're the same thickness. For me, if I was only going to keep one compact wallet, it would be this one, and that's because of the different storage options. I love having the little zipper pull. I love having my cards all organized, whereas in the Chanel they're all just dumped in there, and there's really only two slip pockets to organize, and to be able to have bills not all scrunched up and folded up into like quarters inside of your wallet. So I love this one. So even as a compact wallet, if I put that in my Fendi mini baguette, I still have a fair bit of room here to add key holder, some lipstick, a car key, and you know, I've got everything in there. So it is a great size for mini bags as well. Now, just to show you in my Chanel Jumbo, I tend to use the back pockets on the bag here and here to put my small leather goods, and I find that this Bottega compact wallet fits perfectly in one of those back pockets, and then I put my keys in the other one. So again, I like how this little compact wallet is really easy for organization inside of it as well as in my bags. Alright, the next category that I have to share with you, I can't comment on in terms of usability because I've not used either of them. They are both pocket organizers from Louis Vuitton, and they're both different designs. This one here is quite delicate, so I'm not going to include that one today, and it's probably not one that I would use, to be honest, unless I had very few things in my bag. Now this one here, gorgeous piece. It has a slip pocket on the back, and then inside you can see that it has 3 slots plus this V slot. It has 2 here, and both of them you can put slots, you can put cards underneath as well. So you can fill this right up. There is nowhere to put coins. My husband has a pocket organizer and he's had it for about 9 years. He just rolls up cash and kind of slides it in behind here, and he does stuff his quite full. I did make a video because I bought him another one after he'd had that one for 9 years, and I think he's well on the way to stretching the second one out as well. So it just is what it is, but he really likes how things are organized in it. So I know for a fact that these can stretch right out and become very, very bulky if that's what you do to them. So I'm putting a card in every single slot that is available in the pocket organizer. So you can see here, plus on the back. There we go. So there it is full, and it is quite fat. So if I was to add some notes into that one, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't make too much difference because they're just thin paper. But if we go back to the bag test, it does look very pretty inside of my mini bag, and this one will definitely fit in the Chanel Jumbo back pocket as well. To be honest, I can't tell you why I haven't used these yet. I feel like I just gravitate towards a more simple design. I really don't take that many cards with me. I use Apple Pay on my phone. I've got like 4 credit cards on my phone, my store cards on my phone. It's really only for ID and Medicare cards that I take cards out with me at all. So this is a great option. It's in the men's department, the pocket organizer. I feel like I should start using this, especially this beautiful colour, and see how I go. So I may well switch into this as a bit of an experiment over the next couple of months. The next style of small leather good, and I'll share with you my preference, is this kind of zippy pouch. I've got quite a few of these. I've got this old Louis Vuitton one. Again, it matches the Joey wallet I showed earlier. I have this little Fendi pouch. Both of these have keychains in them. And then I have this Miu Miu pouch kind of card holder option here. This one was a bit of a surprise. I'll tell you why I don't use it. It is super, super practical. The problem is, see how beautiful the colours are now? When you add cards to that, it just looks crap. It really doesn't look very nice. So I'm going to fill it with cards now. And I've even tried to colour coordinate my cards because it's got like it's got 5 spots on the front and again on the back. So I probably don't even have enough cards to fill this one up. And it's still quite thin. Like, it's a really great piece, but it just doesn't look very nice anymore. And I think that's why I don't use it. But if you want something that's super practical, this is a great piece. It's got a huge big pocket on the inside of it where you can put your cash and coins. It's got all of this space. It's got space behind here I've put cards in. It's got another spot here which I haven't got enough cards to put in, and it's still very thin and like a super, super practical piece. So if you're after something that's practical but not necessarily pretty when you're using it, I would highly recommend this little Miu Miu one. I bought it ages ago. I don't know if they even still do it, but it's a great option. Now, these two are kind of similar. I would liken them to, I guess, a pochette clay from Louis Vuitton, but they're a bit taller. They're probably the same length across, but they're a bit taller. This one here is like quite a bit stiffer, so I am going to say it's not as good because you can't kind of squish it up like the pochette clay from Louis Vuitton. So I'm going to pop that one to one side. This Fendi one, not that you will squish it so much, but it is more squishy and pliable. So I can put that whole wad of cards in there and I can fit cash, and I was using it as a mini wallet for a little bit. It's fabulous. It's super functional. I mean, I would warn you against putting those spiky little eyebrows in a very beautifully lined lambskin bag. But, you know, having something really simple like this, I think is way better than this one, which is really, I just don't think they're well organised. I think if you're going to throw everything in, you may as well just pop it in a zippy pouch. But it's about personal preference, isn't it? So I really love this one. So this one's staying in my top list. Now, the last category of card holders or wallets is just the basic card holder. I've got one from Chanel here, which is the 2018 Métier d'Art Egyptian Graffiti Collection. It holds, well, it holds, and the slots are totally different. So there's 1, 2, 3 slots on the outside and 1 in the center. I have put a lot more than that into this card holder, and it's worn exceptionally well considering it's got a print on it. I'll pop it up to closely here. You can see a little bit of the gold is kind of wearing off the hardware on the front. But in terms of the wear and tear, this piece has been used really hard, and it's done really well. So the organisation is ordinary because there aren't as many slots. Then I have this Fendi card holder. This was from the men's collection from Fendi, and it has 6 external card slots and 1 in the centre. So I will stuff them now so you can see the difference. See if you can guess which one I prefer. Now, bear in mind I've had the Chanel a lot longer, so I have stretched out the pockets so I can fit a lot more in. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I've got all of the same cards that I had in every other piece. There are 9 cards in there, and this is what it looks like, which is still very, very compact, and it still looks beautiful because the cards are, you know, the card slots are quite deep. To me, like, this is, you know, a winner. The only problem is I've got to kind of sift through my cards to try and find which ones are at the front and which ones are at the back, because I've got 2 cards in each slot, but that's not a massive problem. And when I have cash, I just slip it in the center. And I rarely have cash. I only get cash out for my nail tech and my cleaning lady. So, and that's like once every 3 weeks and once every week. So I get it out and then I don't keep it for very long. So this one is a great contender. I forgot to show you, I've got a thing with yellow and card holders. I also have this little Gucci Affidia card holder as well. So I have the 3 and it only has 4 external card slots and 1 center one. So I'll show you this one as well. This one's really inexpensive and pretty. I think the issue that I have with this Gucci one, it has relaxed a little bit now, but the card slots are really, really tight, and I think that's the combination of canvas and leather. And having 1 in each slot on the outside, so that's 4, and 1 in the center is quite a challenging combination, because I'm probably going to struggle to get that center one out now because it's very tight. Okay, it's out, but I'm not going to be able to put any cash in there. So capacity wise, this Gucci one doesn't really cut it, and the depth of the card slots is not really deep, so you do have a fair bit of card hanging out. And the other thing with it is that it's actually a lot shorter than the Chanel one. So you can see the Chanel one is a whole finger width longer, than the Gucci one. So this one is good for just carrying a couple of bare essentials, but on the whole, is it an essential piece in and of itself? I don't think so. So that brings us down to the Fendi one from Fendi. So I'm going to fill up every card slot, and I've been using this pretty consistently for the last week. The last one that I swapped out of was the little Fendi Pouch, this one that I showed before. So I've got 1 card in each of the external 6 pockets, as well as a card in the center, and that's as much as I'm going to get in there. I could possibly fit some cash, but I'd struggle to get it out. But I love how thin and streamlined this piece is. Potentially it might stretch some more, which people would go, oh, why would you want to do that? Because I'm using it, it's to be used. But yes, it does not have the same capacity as my little Chanel leather one. This one is kind of croc embossed, I think you can see there. So the winner for the card holders is my Chanel. So let's recap. I've got a pouch as an SLG option, and my preference is something that's a bit smushy, that has a bit of character, that has a zipper and potentially a little keychain. So I like this one better. I've had the Pochette clay from Louis Vuitton. I didn't rate it. I know a lot of people do. I didn't. I prefer these larger size ones. So that's my choice. That's a Fendi one. It is seasonal. I don't know if they do them all the time, because I don't really look at SLGs anymore, for good reason. But yes, love. Chanel classic card holder. This one is the reissue style, but I think the classic card holders would be the same. I don't know if they're as soft as this, or if this is just what wear creates in terms of softness, but I love this thing. And the Bottega compact wallet. Then we've got a key holder, another one on my essential SLG list. It's got to be my Epi Noir. I have 2. I've not used this one. This is going to be on my list of things to swap out. I might even do that at the end of this video, that I'll trial using these 2 SLGs for the next month or so and come back to you with a review. But the 6-ring key holder, I was literally just talking to someone today about it, and on my comments, and they were saying, oh yeah, I tried it and I'm not a fan. I much prefer the Pochette clay. So everyone's different. I like that all your keys are organised. They're always in the same order. You don't have to sift through them. And usually before I get out of the car, I will get out my house key, so it's just hanging there. My husband can use this and he doesn't find it tricky. Technically I could leave the house, I could put a few cards in the little slip pocket behind the keys, and I wouldn't even need to take a second SLG. I could have everything in here. I love this one because it doesn't have hardware, and that's why I bought it initially. I bought this one because it was Damier Azur and I had FOMO, and never mind. But this hardware here, people who have these often find that these tarnish, or the gold or the brass coating comes off, or if they have a coated button, it wears off. So I wanted something that I wouldn't have that problem with. And having had Epi SLGs before, I know they're super hard wearing and they look good, especially the black. So yes, this is my choice for essential key holder. Rounding out my 5 top SLGs, you know, you weren't expecting a comparison in this, were you? Is the Mini Pochette from Louis Vuitton. I don't always carry this with me, but I always have it in my totes. If I'm carrying a smaller bag, I don't bother. But this is kind of like the little emergency kit that you hope you never need, but if you do, it's there. Inside, I've got hand sanitizer. Here in Australia, there's hand sanitizer everywhere now. You don't even need to carry your own personal supply. It is everywhere. I've got some lady products. I've got some Nurofen for headaches. I've got some tissues. I have got some hand cream, and I've got some band-aids as well. So it's, yeah, like a little emergency kit. I've got hair slides, a hairband. You don't need to see all that, but for me, if I'm traveling anywhere, I'll always take the Mini Pochette. Always, but in my mini bags, obviously it's not a priority. So if I was only going to have 5 small leather goods, as at today, they would be a small zipped pouch of some description with a clasp on them, a compact wallet. My choice is Bottega. A card holder, a very simple card holder that can stretch and hold, you know, what did I say, 9 cards that this little Chanel one had in it. A key holder of some description. For me, it's the Louis Vuitton 6-ring key holder in Epi. It's my favourite. I love it. And a Mini Pochette or some kind of catch-all that when you open your bag, you just go, oh, isn't that so much fun? That's it for this video. So let me just show you. If I exclude these 2, which I'm going to start using, this is what I've got left in my SLG basket. So I have 2 compact wallets left from Louis Vuitton and Chanel. I have a card holder from Fendi, which I will not let go of because this was a gift, but if it wasn't a gift, I still wouldn't let go of it because it's Fendace. So let's put that to one side. I have this Gucci card holder. I have this Pocket Organiser from Virgil. I will not let go of this because this is a collector's piece, so that's a keeper. I've got passport holder, not essential. We all know they make you take your passport out of your passport holder anyway, so it's really just a pain in the butt. A Louis Vuitton coin purse, do not need, do not have coins. I also have the Miu Miu. I think it's really practical, but it looks ugly with cards in it, so that could go. This little pouch that I never use, and to be honest, I've never used it even when it was my only one. And then I've got this little Mimco one, and then finally I've got this beautiful little card case that was actually made especially for me. You can see Dale on it by Sarah, who helped me source my gorgeous Fendi Peekaboo, and I actually do need to start using this one because I can use this for my business cards. So it still smells absolutely gorgeous, and it's just a beautiful natural leather, so it should patina up really nicely. So realistically, I could sell, let me show you, if there was no sentimental attachment, all of these. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, well, what do you think? I don't usually do these sorts of videos because I feel like I just like what I like, but I know that they are interesting to people who are, you know, trying to figure out where to spend their money, so I get that. So I hope you found this one interesting, helpful. I hope it's helped you maybe look at some options that you weren't looking at previously. By all means, make an informed decision. I know that this counts as a recommendation or advice of some description. That's what these videos are used for. But at the end of the day, if I get messages from you saying, I tried this because you said you loved it and I hated it, well, that's just because we're different people. So please bear in mind your personal preferences as well. But if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays and sometimes some extras. So I'd love to see you back here. Until then, ciao.